What's up, y'all? Um, this isn't worked out at all, but my heart is heavy, and so I feel like I need to talk to it, right? And so I did a video this morning that I'm revisiting right now, and because it's a different conversation than the one I want to have in this moment. I am present to the murder of the 19-year-old activist in Tallahassee, Oluwatoyin, and she was found today, and she had been online on Twitter, I believe, sharing about an assault and asking for help, and then being sexually assaulted again, and then turns up missing, and then turns up dead. And that there is, like, the grieving is incalculable at this point. It's so constant. Every day there are more and more names. Every single day, more and more people are killed. And that what feels so profoundly clear to me is that we are not being asked to reckon with one system. That we are being asked to reckon with every single system of oppression that seeks to disconnect us from our own humanity, seeks to disconnect us from the humanity of others, seeks to oppress and power over, seeks to find itself through the degradation and violence of other bodies. Every entity, every structure, every system that defines itself in that way is being asked to fall. I was talking to one of my team members today, and they were asking me about the analytics on my Instagram, and it's like 92% women followed me, and 8% men, and I think now it's like 90% women and 10% men. Of course, I recognize that this like invisibilizes non-binary folks and trans folks. Like, the analytics are themselves a manifestation of the limited imagination of oppressive structures, right? So that we don't even see I can't even fully be clear about who it is participating in this work because of the limitations of that. But, my teammate was like, why do you think that is? And I was like, the question isn't for me to ask, why is that? The question is to ask men. Why is that? And because certainly I'm talking to men. I'm certainly talking to those who identify as male, as much as I'm talking to anyone else. And then I thought about the things, right? The things that make men decide to listen to women. But then I was like, that's not actually the question for me. That's the question for men. Is what is it that makes you decide to listen to women? Because women, again, Black women and femmes have been offering how to get us free, have been getting you free, have been getting us all towards something that looks like liberation. Infallibly, because we are fallible. Fallibly, because we are fallible, but going there nevertheless. And so the system of policing is the system of patriarchy, is the system that lived in the man that killed Toyin, is the same system that lived in the cop that shot Rayshard, is the same system that put its knee on the neck of George Floyd, that is the same system that walked into Breonna Taylor's house and gunned her down, that is the same system that has that has people power over through abuse in relationships. Patriarchy is violence. And it isn't until men, like, it's fascinating to me that we won't say men. We talk about, and of course, yes, there are men who are victims of interpersonal violence. Yes, there are masculine people who are harmed, who are sexually assaulted. Absolutely. Yes. All of those things are true. The same way that all of the things are true, that white people who exist in privilege absolutely have also had their own hard lives and trauma. Right? That these are not, that the realities of our individual lives do not absolve us from our participation in larger systems of structure that harm and kill. And so we have to name the thing. The same way I've been out here running around talking about white supremacist delusion, I'm going to name the same thing, that toxic masculinity and all the ways in which those who are identified as masculine have embodied and imbibed that energy, the energy of dominance as definition, the energy of power over instead of power with, the energy of complete and total disconnection, because we have told men, white men, black men, all men, that their validity is only in that which they can subjugate. That their validity is only in that which they can control, only in that which they can dominate, only in that which they can subdue, only in that which they can kill. But we don't want to say it's men while looking at a world filled with men doing this, by and large. And so my question for men is, what am I afraid of looking at inside of myself? In what ways am I colluding with the club of violent masculinity? In what ways am I saying not all men, the same white people say not all white people? In what ways am I asking to be the exception rather than to looking for where it lives inside of me? In what ways am I being a coward and not speaking to the other men in my life very specifically about the work it is that they need to do to extract that from themselves? And for the men who are doing that work, I see you and I honor you. We will not fix any of this if we don't name the systems, name the people who are culpable inside of the systems, which also means naming ourselves, which also means looking at the hard stuff inside of ourselves. That girl shouldn't be dead. But she's dead because some man felt entitled, not to her body in every single way, including its life. And that's the same energy that felt entitled to George Floyd's life. It's the same energy that felt entitled to Rayshard Brooks' life. It's the same that felt entitled to Breonna Taylor's life. It's the same that felt entitled to Tony Dade's life. It's the same that felt entitled to Cece and all the other trans girls who have been killed in the last week. It's all the same thing, and it's all the same energy, and it all requires the same work. We're not going to just take down one. To defund the police is to defund an arm of patriarchy and toxic masculinity. What else do we plan to defund? It's why defunding isn't enough. It is necessary, but it is not enough. Name every system. demand every system fall, destroy the latter,